Hello, hello, hello. This is Attorney Mike Graham. I'm coming to you from beautiful Buenos Aires, Argentina. Had a good time being a tourist today. Got some good clips. I have to thank Morgan and I have to thank Alyssa, of course. Some of it I've seen, some of it I haven't. It's going to be fun. Let's do this thing, shall we?
Judge, next is page 14, Melendez. Come on up.
Hey, this is not the club, man. You talk, you know what? Put him in back. Case is 1,100 days old, comes here, thinks it's the club. I don't think so, man. You Patrick Royal. Mr. Royal, you charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On November 1st of 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop at the 4000 block of State Highway 6 after observing the vehicle have illegal tints on the front side windows and front windshield, preventing any visibility into the vehicle. An NCIC search of the defendant revealed him to have a suspended and invalid driver's license and an active Class C warrant for DWLI. An inventory search of the vehicle revealed an extended 9mm magazine on the front right passenger side, as well as a 9mm semi-automatic handgun within plain view on the front middle seat.
Don't look at her computer.
Not secured in a holster. The defendant did not have a license to carry. And he does have prior criminal history, Judge.
Curious.
It all starts with tint. I'm gonna knock the tint again. I did a video, I think 3 years ago, where I said excessive tint is garbage, and I stand by it, and I get comments on it to this day. I have the defenders of tint out there telling me how awesome tint is, but here's another guy getting rung up over it. He's got worse charges, but that's his advertisement to the cops. Please arrest me.
The prior UCW, same facts.
He also has two from Fort Bend, not UCWs, but I'm looking at the other case, Judge, from this county. In that one, he made
This is a fourth then.
It's the fourth charge, yes, Judge. In the other UCW, he made an illegal U-turn in an open intersection. He was a sole operator. The defendant opened the glove compartment to get his wallet, and officers saw the magazine to a handgun. Officer then told the defendant to let down his rear window due to the window tint being extremely dark. So it was the same set of facts, Judge.
Well, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any weapons in your possession. I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to drive any vehicle whatsoever for any reason. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. Am I boring you, Mr. Royal? Am I boring you? You're sitting here where you're rolling your eyes, looking up at the stars like.
I'm trying to clock in what you're saying, well, Your Honor. Trying to clock in. I'm listening to everything. I'm trying to listen. I ain't trying to do it.
All right, so good morning to both of you. This case has been going on since May of last year. In this case, Ms. Simmons has an order for $437 a month as the primary payment for child support, and she has a payment of $87 a month as a repay. For my mind is not that efficient to figure out the amount, so let me just put what he's supposed to be paying. 437 plus 87, I think is what I said. All right, the child support payment is supposed to be $524 a month. Looking at my notes over time, Both parties were present in June of last year and then in August of last year. I've given multiple resets. And then he was here October. And then I dismissed the case because you were consistent in October of 2023. Then in August of 2024, she refiled because you stopped making payments. And then I set a Zoom date. I actually issued a warrant for your arrest. But we reset the case because you came in person and indicated that you did not get the hearing notice. I don't usually give second opportunities when I've worked with you for a whole year to get you back on track, and then you just fall off. Generally, that's a problem because you know you're under an order to pay child support. And I've already given you the opportunity of what I call redeeming yourself. Looking at the order, you have mom has custody of Abraham, Asher, and Naomi, 3 children. That's not a lot of child support for 3 children anyway. But all right. And so looking at your child support order, it looks like you mom was receiving unemployment payments for April. And then when we came to court last month, DCSS said that they saw that you may have had a job and they were trying to see if they could get the child support taken directly out of your paycheck. I reset the case to give you a chance that if there's an income deduction order, I would recall the warrant and let the income deduction order continue to proceed, but there's nothing to date. So last payment mom received was April, I believe. And so that's May, June, July, August, September, October, November, 7 months, 3 kids, no support at all. As what I'm showing. Okay, yes, you can raise your hand. Yes, Ms. Simmons.
I submitted evidence as well. It was something that Mr. Simmons had filed with Superior Court, I believe. So I think they may have it. They said they were going to upload it for you to be able to see it.
Okay, give me one moment.
Mhm.
Mr. Keys, Joshua, do you see anything from her that you could forward to me?
Yeah, let me give me 1 second. Hold on. I'll
Sure.
look.
Okay, give me one moment, please. And you sent it to the magistrate court clerks, Ms. Simmons? Okay, give me
Yeah,
one moment.
they made a copy of it. Yeah, I took it into the office.
Okay. All right, while I'm waiting on the information from Ms. Simmons, Ms. Serena Camarillo, is there any update on the information that was sent in on the ID?
Yeah, I'm not sure when the last meeting with the court was, but I can say that on August 22nd, we received a response from an employer via fax stating that he was no longer employed at the location where we had sent the income withholding order to. They said he was
All
no
right.
longer employed there as of August 22nd, 2024.
All right, Mr. Simmons, while I'm waiting for Ms. Simmons' information to be sent, mind you, I've already issued the warrant for your arrest, but you can go ahead and explain to me why you haven't paid any child support in the past 7 months. You have to unmute yourself, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm appearing under special appearance exclusively to address the challenge to jurisdiction. I request that no
Oh,
substantial
holy
matters
shit.
proceed until jurisdiction clarification is fully resolved over my personal property. For the record, I request that all responses to the questions in my demand for clarification on jurisdiction be fully documented in court record. So
No, I was not prepared for this. I've not seen this clip. I was not prepared for this stupid. Although I've always said since the beginning of Zoom, anybody who chooses the space background is a high potential for fun.
clarification of demand that was sent. That should be filed. That's what you're referring to. Demand for clarification of jurisdiction.
Okay. You have a child support order.
This
Ms.
poor
Simmons
woman.
has a child support order in DeKalb County. You are under an order to pay child support. In the state of Georgia, it is a crime to not support your children for 30 days. The law states that the case should be filed where the mother resides with the children. Ms. Simmons, I'm just going to unmute you. Ms. Simmons, where do you reside at this time?
DeKalb County.
DeKalb County, and where do the children reside?
Yeah, also DeKalb County and Stone Mountain.
And where are they attending school? In what jurisdiction?
DeKalb County, Asher attends Chamblee Charter High School in Chamblee. also DeKalb County. Naomi attends Redan Middle School, Stone Mountain, DeKalb County.
Okay, thank you. For criminal purposes, I do find I have jurisdiction over you, Mr. Simmons. You are the father of these 3 children. There's an existing child support order for you to pay child support. You're failing to pay the child support. You have not paid child support in 7 months. I'm still waiting, so give me one moment before I proceed. You don't want to explain to me why you're not working, what you're doing. You have 3 children with Ms. Simmons, and you're not making any effort to comply with my order. The jurisdiction is determined that I absolutely have jurisdiction over you because your children are not being provided for by you. The last time we received was some unemployment in April and nothing since then. So there's jurisdiction over you. What else do you want to address, Mr. Simmons?
Your Honor, my demand includes several fundamental questions regarding the nature of the court's authority. I respectfully request the court provide clear answers to these questions before asserting jurisdiction over my personal property. Specifically, is state of Georgia operating as a corporation or as
Sir, I'm not entertaining those questions.
Yes.
Those are sovereign citizens questions, and I'm not answering those questions. So I'm going to mute you for right now. I have jurisdiction over you. I have jurisdiction over your children. This is an appropriate proceeding. This is a government entity, and I have jurisdiction over our court in DeKalb County have jurisdictions over you. So this is the sovereign citizen kind of thing where people act like they're not, or they present that they're not members of the United States. And yeah, no, sorry, sir. You can present whatever you want in writing, but I've already determined I have jurisdiction. You've appeared in court before. You've never made an issue, so I'm not going to let you, try to say we don't have jurisdiction over you. You've appeared multiple times before our court. All right, so give me one moment.
We looked in the inbox as well to look on the file. We do not see anything on file as far as from Ms. Simmons. Not saying she didn't, but we don't see anything in the actual inbox or attached to her file.
Do you have it already scanned, Ms. Simmons?
Myself, no. They did also stamp it to say that it was received by magistrate court as well. So,
Okay, well, you can just tell me what it was. What was it?
yeah, Mr. Simmons, he submitted something apparently to Superior Court. I received a certified copy of a letter in the mail, stating basically that he believed that he should not be liable to pay child support because he did not agree to pay child support. Essentially, he said that he was under duress in having to pay child support. That was the basis of his.
All right. So there are a number of entities out that go and challenge jurisdiction and the things that he's trying to do, reading some script of narrative that the judge doesn't have jurisdiction, and sometimes they say they're not a legal person. And yeah, I'm finding that you are a legal person. You've already appeared before the court, so you can't bring any new argument before the court. I do find that you're intentionally abandoning your 3 minor children, which are Abraham, Asher, and Naomi. So I am issuing the warrant for your arrest, sir. You can turn yourself into DeKalb County Jail. Ms. Simmons, unfortunately, this doesn't expedite. It's just going to go to court. They will arrest him when it's time. They'll take him into custody, and then your case is going to be transferred to state court. So once your case is transferred to state court.
Okay, so when this hearing started, I saw the woman bottom right, the wife here, rolling her eyes and being all disgusted. And I thought, okay, we might have a Karen. But no, I've switched fields. You're not a Karen if you're justified. Now I understand every eye roll she made. Everyone is justified. You go, girl. I'm with you.
Mr. Simmons, if you are recording this proceeding, I am going to hold you in contempt, and I can issue another warrant for your arrest. You are not to record this proceeding.
I'm not actually recording. My advice is to make sure that this is being represented accurately.
Are you recording this proceeding, Mr. Simmons?
No, I'm not recording this proceeding at all.
All right, thank you. Well, I was trying to give you an opportunity to explain why you haven't paid child support. You're determined, you tried to address jurisdiction. I find there's jurisdiction over you, your children. So with that being said, sir, a warrant's been issued for your arrest. You're not providing support. since April. And you did good. You got off the case and then you decided to go this route. That's on you. So $2,000 regular bond. Usually I give unsecured judicial releases, but I'm not because it's your second time before court. You can turn yourself in if you choose. If not, then there'll be a warrant outstanding for your arrest. And when they pick you up,
This
you'll
is okay. I'm making special appearance to actually address the jurisdiction. And so what I'm trying to do is clarify that first. I know you mentioned about jurisdiction, but I'm trying to answer the questions that are in the demand for clarification for jurisdiction. So those questions that was actually submitted, and I'm waiting for you to open
Oh,
up.
that's not me. That's Superior Court. I'm not.
Yeah, no. I walked it in personally to the magistrate.
Which is number one, wrong.
I put it in there. The same document she's talking about, I put that.
Okay, sir, you can ask me the questions about jurisdiction. I've already told you I have jurisdiction because your wife and your ex-wife and your 3 children live in DeKalb County. Under Georgia law, I have jurisdiction over the case. What other question do you have? And because you're the father that birthed those 3 children, you're the one that I find is committing a criminal offense. So a warrant's been issued for your arrest. What question do you have about jurisdiction?
Is this jurisdiction being fully documented in a court of record?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And apart from that, when I mentioned about the request for the court to provide clear answers to the questions before a certain jurisdiction of my personal property, they're written in the clarification for demand that was filed.
I'm not taking any jurisdiction over your personal property, sir. I'm taking jurisdiction over you. And the state court will decide whether or not you're going to go before a judge or jury. So that concludes our hearing, sir. Ms. Simmons, you'll just go to the DeKalb County court and they will DeKalb County State Court, your case has been transferred. Mr. Simmons has not paid support. Seems like he's not going to pay support. So I would also recommend through child support that you file a motion for contempt, because I'm sure he has the ability to take care of himself. And he sounds to me like he's challenging whether or not these children should be supported by him. So, sir, you could take that up in Superior Court, but for criminal purposes, I've already determined that we have jurisdiction. Okay, that concludes our hearing. Ms. Simmons, if you go to Odyssey,
you do not.
DeKalb County Odyssey, do not unmute yourself without my permission, sir. In Odyssey, you have to track your case. Okay. Odyssey, keep putting his name in until you finally see something come up. And once it comes up, try to go to court if you can to advocate for the child support, because sometimes if mom isn't there, it just makes a difference when moms are active with the court and making sure that the support is provided. And I thought, I don't know, did you have a special needs child? One?
Yes, that's right. Naomi has special needs. Yeah.
Okay.
Chromosome
All right.
yeah.
Okay. I'm so sorry you're going through this, but hopefully you will be able to continue to do the best that you can do with it. All right. That concludes our hearing. All right, Mr. Simmons, you could turn yourself into DeKalb County Jail. If not, there's a warrant outstanding. And when they do a sweep through any different counties, then you'll be arrested and taken into custody. You have a bond of $2,000. And that concludes our hearing. I'll give you one final word if you have a question, Mr. Simmons, but I'm not dealing with jurisdiction questions because I've already determined I have jurisdiction over you. Do you have anything else that you need to say before I conclude the hearing? You can unmute.
I'm here on special appearance.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate your special appearance. You're excused from court. We can go ahead and excuse Mr. Simmons and Ms. Simmons from court, and that concludes our hearing on that case.
Behavior in this case is disgusting. A protection order, felonies of the 5th degree. This matter was referred to the Lake County Adult Probation Department.
Oh, we're back in Minecraft court.
And report, as well as a victim impact statement. That report has been completed. The state has had the opportunity to review the report.
You know what we're here for.
Days of jail time credit. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Novotny.
Your Honor, we're just asking for any type of leniency with these matters. Ultimately, we'd like the court to consider community control sanctions at this time. Your Honor, and I know Justin will go in a little bit more detail about what he's done so far in prison. He just completed his prison sentence. He has informed me he participated in numerous programs while being in prison. specifically Toastmasters, which is a public speaking course. They learn ultimately how to speak to one another, have great communication with that respect. He also participated in a debate class, a money smart class, so when he is out of prison, he can be economically savvy and manage and budget his funding with that respect. He also participated in Tyros, which I think really hit home for Justin when he was in prison. Ultimately, it was teaching him, as he explains to me, how to be a stand-up person in society. And one thing, quote, that he has come out with, or phrase, should I say, that really hit home for him is dedication. A lot of them, people involved in that program were dads, and kind of stating their experiences with regard to their children and what their long-term goals were for being the parent that he needs to be and wants to be. So dedication, ever since I met Justin with this case, he's kind of held that to his heart dearly with that respect. He also participated in AA and NA meetings
Yes,
whenever
indeed.
they were available for him at the prison. He even tried to be a sponsor at North Central. In addition to that, he was baptized in prison as well, just trying to have some sort of reformation with regard to what he was looking at and his beliefs are. With that respect, and referring back to the dedication, we talked a lot about what his short-term goals are and what his long-term goals are.
Oh, sweet Jesus. What?
Be ultimately in his child's
Found the
life.
Lord.
I know he is upset about missing a lot of years with regard to that, key essential years of early development with his child, and he wants to make up for that. So a long-term goal for Justin would be one day being the dad that he knows and he should be and ultimately wants to be for his child. However, he knows that he has to work on himself before he can accomplish or achieve that long-term goal. So with that regard, Your Honor, he is accepted into Legends to maintain his sobriety and recovery path, or in order to try to get to that point where he can achieve his long-term goal. The earliest that they're willing to take him and accept him is November 12th, and ultimately it would be a 30-day inpatient program with sober living associated with PHP and IOP, and they would give the court, of course, updates in our office as well about what Justin's doing there. In total, Your Honor, we would ask that the court be inclined to consider community control sanctions with this matter and any type of leniency with any type of sentence that he's imposed today. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Sullivan, what do you want to tell me?
So, Your Honor, everything she's spoken was true. I did do a lot of programs in prison. I'm kind of upset with the situation itself because, you know, I made a decision that in the court's eyes is wrong, you know, black and white. And at the same time, though, like it was either I do that or I decide to stand against morally making the choice of keeping in touch with Julia and having contact with my child, you know, especially with what's been going on. You know, she just lost custody of my daughter again for like the third time within this prison number. So obviously there was something going on more than that, but I did wrong, you know, like I shouldn't have had contact with her, but as a man, as a father, like I thought I did what was right.
What did he say? Is she lost custody for the third time during his imprisonment? We got another country song going.
So I apologize for that. But at the same time, she's right. I did a lot of programs, and not really because I knew like the court wasn't looking into it or nothing like that. It's just like who I am as a man. Like I just like to better myself. You know, I did Inside Out Dads. I did Tyros, which it used to be like a Tyro Dads program. It's more so like they're accepted. It's like there's a Tyro women's and a man's one now because like they're trying to get people to change into like being stand-up citizens. You know, like not really just like ex-cons, but more so like people that want to do better for their community. You know, and actually I got the guy that gets like the grants for the Ridge Project, which runs Tyros. He gave me his personal email, told me to call him whenever I get out, and then he was going to try to help me because I have an idea with putting together like not necessarily like a recovery based. I mean, it could be recovery, more so like how Tyros is, but on like a farm. So like I have contact with like a CEO in there that owns a farm and stuff like that. He actually had the same idea. Like, we take like a group of guys. I mean, this is further down the road when I get my stuff together, you know. But like we take like a group of like 5 guys and we teach them how to live. You know what I'm saying? Like how to care for their family, how to live, how to work, you know, stuff like that. But and she's right with the AA and NA. Like I was like a beacon of light because like I'm really knowledgeable with the 12 steps, and AA and stuff. So like when I would go into these prisons and like I'd go speak at the lectern, like people would shake my hand after I speak. You know, like it's almost like, I mean I don't see it, but like other people see it. Like I'm like a perfectionist, so like whenever I don't see perfection in myself, I see failure. But like other people congratulate me on my progress and stuff like that. So, and I think I'm doing fairly well. You know, like
Yeah, I see the failure
before I
too.
came back to the jail on these charges, like I was getting high in prison because I was down in like Youngstown, and you know like the circumstances with everything, just everything that was going on. But like I'm kind of glad that I came back. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of needed to come back. Like I don't know how to explain that, and you know, but I really did need to come back, and like I learned what I needed to learn, and I think I'm ready for probation. I mean, I really don't want probation, but I can complete it. You know what I'm saying? Like no matter what, I got to. I don't want to have to do this stuff on your guys' terms. Like, I want to do it for myself. I don't want to have to jump through hoops just because you guys are telling me to. I just want to do this for my child and myself, really. So.
Well, whatever programs you did in prison, you're right from the standpoint that it wasn't to try to show me what you're doing, because when I sent you, I had no intention of looking at what you were doing, okay? Because we've tried probation a whole bunch of times, right? Didn't we?
I think I was granted probation once, but then I was given a couple of chances just because it was
Right, that's what I mean.
kind of like breaking no contact order and stuff like that.
Yeah. So when you were doing these programs, though, you were still getting high?
No, so the prison I was just in is where I started getting high, and there was no programs there. It was a level 3, and it was just violence and drugs. Every day I was fighting every day. Like I haven't been in a fight. Like I'm not a violent person, and like the 2 prisons I was in prior to that, I had no issues at all with anybody. And then I get to this prison, I'm fighting at least once a day. It was just a complete night and day situation.
Well, when you got back here, why were you being such an ass-ache over here all the time?
So honestly, when I first came back, that arraignment, I owe Mr. Nichols an apology because I didn't see everything for what it was at that moment. I thought I was going back to that prison one more time, and I wasn't gonna make it out of that prison. Like it was hell.
No, but I mean over here, you're giving the COs a bad time and won't go in your cell and all this nonsense. Why are you doing that?
Just more so being a knucklehead, hard-headed. I'm trying to work on my anger. It's more so that like I don't have like anger. I guess I just have problems with injustice. Like say
Well-
like if something's going on and I feel like it's not right, then like I'm gonna voice my opinion.
I mean,
Yeah, I
you
feel like-
do have a lot of anger. You always had a lot of anger. And all these contacts with her from the prison indicate you have a lot of anger. So, I mean, it's been going on a long time.
And I want it to be over.
How old's your daughter?
She's turning 5. She's 4. She's turning 5 Sunday, the 10th. I haven't been home for her birthday yet.
So she's gonna be 5 on November 10th. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, anything else you wanna say?
That I'm just completely over the situation. Like the last time I actually had contact with Miss Cicconetti, it was in April, and she told me we needed divine separation, and we both agreed to cut it off, and we did. And then the last time I spoke to her, she answered my mom's phone back in August, and she told me, hey, I need you to send me some money for me and Lily. And then, actually it was July, and this is right before she lost custody of my child because she went to a mental hospital. My mom said, don't send her money, I think she's getting high. So I sent my mom the money to buy Lily stuff, which she did. And then the second time I called my mom's phone, and it went to the car, and then my mom and her were in the car together or something, and she was saying that she was over her ex-boyfriend. And I said, Mom, I'll call you back later, click. And then now I got this indictment like a month before I'm going home.
Well, this indictment's got to do with the 1,700 calls from the
No,
jail.
see, yeah, no, I understand that. But I feel like if I would have taken her back, would I be right here?
I don't know, but
I don't
Jesus
either.
Christ, I mean, this shit's been going on for 5 years, right?
I'm done,
More.
man, I'm done.
I mean,
I don't want to do this anymore, man, I'm done.
Then you ought to
Please
stop
get me
doing
away from her. Like, what do I got to do? Like, to just keep, like, do I got to put a TV on her? Like, I
Well,
don't want nothing to do with her.
Listen, I don't understand the two of you. I've never understood the two of you.
I thought I understood her. I don't. I
Well,
don't know her. I don't want nothing to
And
do with
she
her.
don't understand you. Okay, nobody understands anybody. I don't understand anything that's going on in the last 5 years in this shit. Okay, really? I mean, I can't. You're in prison because of the repeated violation of protection order. That's your biggest thing. And now you're here again for the repeated violation of protection order. And I don't understand why you do that. I don't know if you understand why you do it. Now, you can say.
Partially, I do.
You can say it's because of the concern of your daughter, which may account for some of those 1,700 calls, but certainly not
You're
all
right.
of them.
No, you're right. And I think a big part of it too was that I don't have nobody. You know, I have my mom and then I have her.
Okay, you don't have her.
Well,
Okay?
right.
Having her puts you in a blue uniform right here.
Every day,
Okay?
every time.
Similine?
Your Honor, it's my understanding that the victim, Julia Ciconetti, would like to address the court at this time.
Okay.
Over the past 8 years, I dealt with tons of emotional and physical abuse by Justin Sullivan. Most people ask me, why don't you leave? After being called every nasty name, or holes in my apartment walls, or being thrown across a room, or bruises, an apology would always come with the sweet talking that he wanted to be a father to our daughter. As the years progressed, the threats of death and hearing how he didn't love me or our daughter, I went into fear and depression. It was hard to come out of and realize that there was good and kind-hearted people out there. He would isolate me for full control over me to fulfill his needs. I was so used to getting abused, thinking of the words Justin would say, "You will never get anyone better than me." I felt powerless. It took a lot out of me to finally call the prison and ask them to make it impossible for him to call me. When I would block the number previously, he would have random numbers text me asking for me to unblock the number. He even had someone text my father to get me to answer the phone. He would use our daughter that he wanted to ask about her. I felt guilty, which he would make me feel a lot because I did care about him. Also, maybe prison had to be tough. I also wanted to believe that he wanted to be a father to our daughter. In all reality, it was just because he wanted to treat me bad, so he felt he had full control over me as a woman. I finally had the prison block the number from Justin calling me. He sent me a piece of mail, which was a blank piece of paper, and it trying to induce fear and confusion in me. One of the last calls I had with Justin, he was threatening to kill me. One time he threatened to hotshot me, which means shooting me up with heroin to make it look like an overdose, which I never did opiates before. At that point, I knew I needed to take these threats seriously. This was a big step to finally cut off contact after all the years of being with Justin. I think Justin needs to be held accountable. He is using drugs and not taking his medication in prison. He is a danger to society. The physical abuse of bruises on my body and face and being held at knife point by him shows that he is a danger to me especially. I am the victim. Justin wants everyone to believe that he is the victim. He is not and needs to accept responsibility. Even if he does, I'm still working in therapy, the fear of Justin causing me harm one day. He has made my already mental health issues worse, inducing fear, paranoia, and shame. I hope Justin Sullivan can realize what he did to me that affected me severely.
Thank you.
Your Honor, as you're aware, this case revolves around over 1,600 times that the defendant contacted the victim while he was incarcerated for the same exact offense from 2022. And as you heard from Julia herself, these contacts weren't just run-of-the-mill contacts. He was threatening her. He threatened to kill her. He threatened to slaughter her. He told her to kill herself. He told her, "I hope you die." He was verbally abusive to her throughout. He has an extensive criminal history that include prior juvenile adjudications as well as detentions, and he's had 27 prior adult.
I don't do this, but how the hell does he have access to a phone? Or how's he doing this? I don't get it. He's incarcerated. Can't they control it?
Criminal convictions from 2011 to 2022 that do include acts of violence. He's had multiple prior prison sentences, and he's had a significant number of contempt complaints and probation violations. The defendant, as this court is aware, has threatened to kill all the judges in Lake County, and he has not behaved while he was in the Lake County jail. He says he's sorry, but at the same time, he blames the victim for the reason that he had to call her and have contact with her over 1,600 times. So in conclusion, Your Honor, the defendant's pattern of behavior demonstrates that he will not obey the orders of this court. He lacks any genuine remorse. He has an extensive criminal history, and he's failed to respond favorably to prior sanctions that have been imposed by this court and others. And for all of those reasons, the state asks that the court impose a prison sentence in this case and that a no contact order with the victim be applied. Thank you.
Why did the prison allow him to make 1,700 calls?
Well, it's my understanding that some of the calls originated at one prison until the number was blocked, and then he was moved to a new prison, and at that point, the number was no longer blocked. Eventually, it was blocked, but
why would they, if he made one call that was threatening at the prison, why would they allow him to, I mean, they listen to the calls. Why would they allow him to continue to make calls?
I can't answer that question, Your Honor. I don't know.
Mr. Novotny, anything else you want to say?
Your Honor, I do believe he's showing some remorse for his actions.
I don't know what remorse means, you know, I mean, let alone genuine remorse. I don't know what that means, okay? The problem is, for more than half the time I've been sitting here, I've been dealing with this nonsense, okay? And it's not limited to you. I've got 3 or 4 other cases of stuff like this that are, that unbeknownst to me, I can't figure out why people subject themselves to this shit time after time after time, okay? So I don't know why people do that. So I don't know what remorse means, really. It doesn't really, for me, it doesn't enter into it. I know it's one of those goofy statutory factors, okay? But it doesn't really mean anything because I don't know how to define it. I don't know how to determine if it's real or not real, okay?
All right, I need a remorse is a goofy statutory factor T-shirt, and I need it now.
Okay, I mean, because everybody sits here and bullshits me all the time. And, you know, I'm not beating on you for it. Everybody does it.
I mean, honestly, like, what am I sorry for? Contacting her about my child? Like, I mean, other than that, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, it was personal too.
Yeah,
but I'm not sorry for I'm sorry for threatening and being mad and because of what I've been through. But like, other than that, like, because like, it's almost as if like I show my genuine self and then like I get told that's not who you are. That's not who you are. You're a bad person. Like,
okay, it's got nothing to do with being a bad person or not a bad person. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's got what it's got to do with is that this keeps happening over and over.
It needs to stop.
No, and I know it needs to stop. The problem is you don't know it needs to stop.
I'm over it. Trust me.
Your Honor, Justin's mother's also in the back, and I think she has a few words to say as well.
All right, what do you want? What do you want to tell me?
Your Honor, I can't attest to Julia's the way she's afraid of my son or whatnot, but at one time she was using my account to communicate with my son and video calls, you know, so for her to say, you know, maybe he did threaten her, maybe she is afraid of him, but When he would call on my account, she was on there
Okay.
showing her breast, doing things that,
Th-
if you're afraid, you don't do that.
This doesn't, look, this goes back a good 5 years
It does.
of this stuff going on, okay? And there's been times when I've said something to Miss Chickanetti about this stuff way back at the beginning of this, okay? So I don't know why this goes on.
I believe he is over the relationship and would like to move on with his life, and I hope that that's the truth
100%.
from him.
Genuinely,
Because I don't
100%.
wanna keep going to prison to visit him. I don't wanna keep coming to court. I'm tired just as much as you probably are, but thank you.
I've had to lose my father through this. I had to lose my uncle, everybody. I lost everybody.
Okay,
While I've been locked up.
so you've, how your pre-sentence report reads is a lack of relationships in your past that impact you, right?
Yeah.
In a negative way, okay? And now, what are you, 33 now?
33.
Okay, so I don't know what the circumstances of the lack of relationships or your treatment, but it doesn't matter at this point because it's done. So you can wallow around, for another 33 years, bitching about how nobody did this for you and somebody should have done this and that, I feel bad, all that bullshit, okay? But it doesn't matter.
No.
Because unless you want to change it, it ain't going to change.
There's a saying, it says, what's that called? The time frame, no, it says a judicial term with it, the time frame for childhood trauma is up. You know what I'm saying? What's that called? Statutes of limitations for childhood traumas are up. You know what I'm saying? There's no more blaming the childhood trauma because I have my own choice. I can either let it be a bucket of crabs to me or I can step up and be a man,
Okay, so here's, here's the situation as I see it, okay? And maybe I see things different than other people, okay? But you've been here a number of times for this, and as a result, 3 weeks ago, you finished up your 28-month prison sentence for that, right? Okay, and it's still going on, okay? So now what? Now what do we do? You got 3 felonies of the 5th degree for doing the same stuff again. But the question remains, as it always does, and not just in your case, but in every case, is how, if at all, does this change? Well, the answer is simple, right? It changes if you stop doing the stupid shit you've been doing.
Stop
Okay?
doing it.
Right? I mean, that's the only way it changes. It doesn't change because I tell you got to make a change. Because I got tired reading this thing.
Stop doing the stupid shit you do. There we go.
Okay? Because it's so goddamn long. Okay? Because I tell you not to do something and you do it. And then I send you to prison. I let you out and tell you not to do it, and you do it. You do it. You do it. You do it, and you end up back in prison. Okay? So what? I have no impact on you. You haven't listened to a word I've said in the 7 years you've been coming here, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting here right now, right?
I just thought that.
Okay, and then you get pissed about it. You get pissed at me, and you kind of spout off on the way back from prison to here. Okay, well, whatever. I don't really care about that. Okay, but you don't seem to be able to control your actions, or you haven't wanted to control your actions. It's one of those two. I don't know which is worse.
I think I give people too many chances.
Well,
I've been told that.
okay, but you know what? If you beat your head against a brick wall every morning and you get a headache as a result of it and you're bleeding, then you shouldn't beat your head against the wall the next morning because you're just going to get a headache and start bleeding again.
There's this one quote. It says, a relationship is controlled by the person who cares the least. So, I guess it's because I got a big heart, and, knowing, what she's been through, I told Nicole, how can I walk away from somebody?
Why are you worried
I know exactly. Like,
Wait,
when I
now
got my own.
wait, why are you worried about what she's gone through when you can't even solve what you've gone through and control your own behavior? Why do you try to control somebody else's behavior when you can't control your own behavior?
So from a psychological standpoint, I think it's because of codependency. You know,
Oh,
I
good
was
Lord.
a child with my mom, like my mom not raising me. I never knew motherly love. Let's get that out there. I never knew motherly love. I didn't even know my mom until I was like
I mean, we always, whenever we go to the amateur psychiatry, you know you're toast.
16. So with that, you know, everything, and then like being in a relationship with her, like she gave me something, even if it was fake, because like in my eyes I was a sucker and I was a fool for a long time, but like in my eyes she did something for me that I didn't want to leave.
And when did you realize
I got news for you. You still are.
that you were a sucker and a fool?
September 19th.
Okay.
I mean, prior to that, but I still had my doubts about it. Like, oh, maybe this is going on. Maybe it's not her. Maybe no. It's September 19th. I'm not smart.
Okay, so what kind of drugs were you doing when you were in Youngstown?
I'm not a smart man, Jenny.
Smoking K2 and eating Suboxone.
Eating what?
Suboxone.
So your two biggest problems are the drugs that you have always done, and your inability to contain your self-control, your anger. Those are your two biggest problems. And there's no real way of me knowing whether you're going to act on those extremely angry impulses, is there?
No, I guess there wouldn't be.
Right.
You just have to genuinely take my word that I'm being honest with you. That
Listen, I don't. It's a pretty rare occasion where I take anybody's word for anything. Okay, because words don't mean anything.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't mean anything.
Not at all.
Okay. Otherwise, if words meant everything, that means I would believe everybody, and I would fashion my sentences accordingly. Okay. But that's only part of it. That's not the beginning and the end of it. Whether I believe you or don't believe you. Okay. Question is, what do I do with you?
I mean, do you want to believe? I mean, do you trust me? I mean,
I don't trust anybody. Okay, I don't trust anybody. Okay, because everybody lies to me. Okay, but that's beside the point. Okay, it doesn't matter whether I believe you or I trust you. Okay, the only thing that matters is whether you're ever going to stop this or whether you're just going to continue this, so that long after I'm gone from here, somebody else is sitting here dealing with you. Okay, that's my calculus. Okay, so you got 3 F5s. Okay, so I got to figure out the appropriate sentence for 3 F5s in your particular facts and circumstances. In your case, not what the stupid statutes tell me what to do with 3 F5s. Okay, because I don't calculate sentences based on some kind of matrix that you got, because you got a shitty record, right? Ms. Himmel pointed that out. Now, she told me, everything she told me I already knew with regard to your record, because I've been sitting here living it, okay? Okay, so the question is, what do I do with you? Not what do I do with somebody who has these convictions for these offenses and acts like this, okay? What do I do with you?
Help.
Well, I can't help you.
For a long time, I didn't think I needed help. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought it was not my
I
homework.
recognize that you needed a lot of help a long time ago. Okay?
Yeah.
You didn't. Now, you may have. Maybe you didn't want to do anything about it.
I thought I was doing A-okay back then when I was stupid.
All right, well, listen, I've reviewed the pre-sentence report again. And I've reviewed the letter that I received from your mother, and I heard what she had to say, what Ms. Cicconetti had to say, what you had to say, what Nicole had to say, what Jennifer had to say. And I've considered all of the applicable statutes that I have to as part of a sentencing. So if I were I'm gonna put you on community control for 5 years. We're gonna try this over again. Now, if I wasn't gonna put you on community control, okay, if I was just gonna get rid of you today, it would be for 12 months in prison, okay? That's what I would give you, okay? But I'm gonna put you on community control. And if you come back, then you're not gonna get 12 months in prison. You're gonna get 12 plus 12 plus 12. That's what you'll get.
I ain't coming back.
Well, how many, if I had a buck for everybody that told me that, I'd be filthy rich, retired, and gambling it in Las Vegas, okay? Because everybody tells me that. But, once again, it doesn't matter what I say. It matters what you do. It doesn't matter what you say. Where is that place?
Legends, Your Honor.
Where is it?
Green Springs, I think.
It is in Broadview Street, 430 North Broadview Street, Suite B, Green Springs, Ohio.
Where's Green Springs, Ohio?
Your Honor, I'm not really familiar where Green Springs is.
I think it's like
Take a
2
look,
hours.
Joe.
It's like 2 hours away, I think. That's what Aaron.
But it would be available for him on the 12th.
Tuesday. I have a quick question for.
I ain't done yet. And you can ask questions when I'm done.
Well,
Shout it.
it's like it's near Sandusky. Yeah, it's near Sandusky.
2 hours.
Hour and a half, yeah. Mhm. Thank you.
Welcome.
What medication were you prescribed in the past?
I was on Wellbutrin before I got back to the county. They took me off it. I've been taking Lamictal, but I've not been taking it for the last 2 weeks because I'm trying
What do you take that for?
It's a mood stabilizer.
All right, you're gonna serve 47 days credit for 14 or 17. You're gonna be released to Legends and taken there by a representative of the Public Defender's Office. Enter into and complete that program. You're gonna get a psychological evaluation, follow the recommendations. You're gonna see only one doctor and one dentist and one pharmacy for prescription medication. Take your medication only as is prescribed and sign releases. You'd have no drugs or alcohol and you'll be screened. Attend at least 3 AA meetings a week and get a sponsor. Obtain full employment at the appropriate time. And get a driver's license. And you're to have no contact with Julia Cicconetti. You're to cause nobody to have any contact with her. For any reason, okay? Now, she doesn't have custody of your daughter right now, right?
She's not getting it back.
So you have zero reason to contact her for anything.
Not at all.
Okay? If she gets custody back, you're not to contact her. You're gonna have to work through juvenile court when that happens to arrange, hey, I don't wanna hear any shit back there. Or you can both leave.
Tell us how you feel, Judge.
Your next step, after you clear up, after you get a hold of yourself, is to go to juvenile court, establish paternity and a visitation schedule, and pay child support. That's your step with regard to your daughter. Now, you said you had a question.
It was earlier. I'm not sure if I remember it. No, I was You said 47 days, 17 times served, so 30 days, and then I go to the treatment center?
Well, you're gonna go to the treatment center when it's available and when they can transport you there.
Okay,
And
so
the rest of
Tuesday.
those days will be suspended.
Okay.
Now, of course, you're a veteran at this, so you know what happens if you violate. They file a motion to terminate. I'll terminate you and you'll go for 36 months. Then you'll be on post-release control. Under the parole authority, you'll have to comply with them. If you don't comply with them, they'll send you back to prison.
So I think I'm on PRC right now.
Well, that's for them to deal with. I got nothing to do with that.
So, like if I file something with you, like based on like the separation of powers clause, like I can't.
No, don't do
No?
that. Don't do
All right,
that.
sorry.
'Cause,
Just because I'm on being on both is just.
That's been established by the Ohio Supreme Court. They
Okay.
can do that. Okay?
All right.
The remaining charges are dismissed. Anything else, Ms. Himalayan?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Novotny?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Miss Maury, if you could, shut off the audio on your computer. Okay, let's hope that stops the.
I haven't seen this,
reverb.
but Rocky and Alyssa sent it to me. There must be something going on.
Okay. In any event, you can still hear me. All right, according to Mr. Maury, the CPS is no longer involved. They've closed their case. Is that true, Mr. Maury?
Correct. And they both told me to go back to the court ordered.
Right, but I need to know that CPS has closed their case. Miss Maury, did they close their case?
Yes, they did, but CPS also did not fully do their own investigation. They were going based off of law enforcement's lead.
Well, and both have that equal ability to investigate, and therefore parenting time goes back by law to what it was ordered.
Okay, well, I can tell you right now that even though the police and CPS both make it go back to parenting time, the police also told me that there was not enough substantial evidence
Correct.
to take him to court, but
Correct.
that does not mean that he is innocent.
No.
And I am not going to send my girls
All right,
back
then,
to him.
ma'am, Miss Maury, let me tell you how this is going to run. Okay? The court needs clear and convincing evidence to stop parenting time. Child Protective Services and the police require a very low burden. So the court, by law, has to order that parenting time occur. Okay? I'm not going to hold it against you during the time period that that they were investigating. But if the investigations are closed, they may say he's not innocent, but the law says there is a presumption of innocence, and they don't have the evidence. So yes, by law, parenting time goes back to the way it was ordered.
Okay, I hear you and understand that, but I am not going to send my girls back to him.
If you do not, Mr. Maury, you have the right to apply for parenting time show causes, just as there's show causes for child support. Ma'am, you have to understand that the court will hold you in contempt for noncompliance of a court order.
I do understand that. And since the investigation had been launched and closed, my daughter has been in counseling.
Understood.
And more has come forward as to what he had been doing to her.
In that case, the counselor needs to alert Child Protective Services that there is more.
Ooh, she's an obnoxious one.
She has been making reports, yes, but Child Protective Services thinks it's a joke, and they have told me that it's a Kent County matter, and I have not been able to get in contact with Kent County CPS. No one is wanting to listen to my daughter.
Why is there another county being involved?
Well, I live up here in Clare County, and Spencer lives in Kent County, but it happened down in Kent County.
Right.
Which is where I launched the police investigation.
And that's where Child Protective Services should be doing their investigation. And
Nope,
sir, if it has not been fully investigated, she may be exonerated from contempt. Both of you have your right arguments. What I'm telling you is where the law stands now.
Yeah, so
Has to be
CPS
closed.
and
I understand that you're gonna have to show that CPS closed those cases because you're gonna need something in writing to hold her in contempt. So you guys are at an impasse right now, and so am I. By law, if they've closed their investigations, It has not been shown that there is a problem for the child. The counselor may have more information, but that's in the counselor's hand. She's a mandatory reporter.
Okay, then do I have to go down to the courthouse to file that motion?
You can file motions through the Kent County front of the court to work on parenting time and how it should go. They may or may not help you, just as CPS may or may not help her. Like I
So-
said, you both are stuck at an impasse right now. If there are more allegations coming out, there may not be an ability to give you parenting time. And new allegations, she has the right to show to the front of the court and show why she's concerned. If she has a justifiable concern for the safety of the child, she has the right to withhold the parenting time. Problem is we don't have any of that paperwork. So I don't have anything showing CPS closed their case, for one. And I do have the note from the counselor, but that's back in August. So, and it was very sketchy. There was no concrete allegation. There was a bald statement that had no background. So that maybe nothing was investigated, or everybody went, well, if the counselor has more, she better alert the proper CPS authorities. And that would be, she would have to contact Kent County. Yes, ma'am.
Just a quick question. I had already filled out the correct forms and everything to release everything to Judge Bryant for the judge to be able to get a hold of the thing that my daughter is going to counseling and everything.
The court does not go out and get evidence. We only review evidence brought to the court. No, we don't make phone calls and stuff.
Okay, I have an updated letter from my daughter's counselor. So who do I need to mail that?
You would, right now, the only information that had filed was the letter from the counselor from August stating that there was a problem, and Mr. Maury's motion that says that Child Protective Services and the police stop, no charges, and they did not substantiate the underlying allegation.
Okay, so you did not take a look at what I had already mailed down there
The only thing
to
that,
Judge Bryant.
the only thing that I received from you is the letter from Community Mental Health. It is not dated. Luckily, the first line says I have been working with the child since August 19th. Does not say when these allegations were made. Okay. This is the only letter the court has received. That's it. Okay. If you're going to act as your own attorney, orders appropriately.
Okay, well, I would definitely be doing that.
Please do. And maybe the impasse will be gone one way or the other. You both are where the instructions are right now is that if the Child Protective Services investigation is closed, and you have the right also, Ms. Maury, to object to this motion, this order that I'm going to issue. Okay.
Yep, which I do fully object because I do not agree with it whatsoever because the law is not doing anything to protect a 6-year-old girl.
I just tried to explain to you what the law is.
Yeah, and the law is
not always. The law is not always correct.
Any objection, Mr. Miller?
I actually object to everything he's doing.
But it is the law. But it is the law. And we are all presumed to abide by it. So I've given you instructions both on how to do so. So yeah, at this time, the former orders will be enforced.
I'm just going to say right now that it's not going to be enforced and the girls are not going back down there.
Whoa.
I will be filing the correct paperwork to.
Then I suggest you do. This motion is done before you say something more stupid. Have a good morning. You don't look at it. You don't look at a police officer and say, "I'm going to be speeding out of here after you've given me the ticket." Have a good morning.
Sir, I have something to say along with our agreement. In our agreement, it says my pickup time is 11 a.m. I was wondering if you would be able to reissue that for 4:30 p.m. because
No, I'm not changing anything.
no, I'm only asking because friend of the court says they won't do anything to enforce that for my pickup time at 4:30 for my kids at the meeting point, because Cora is in school. She gets off the bus at 3:30. It takes them an hour to drive to the meeting point.
I'm going to let this go. I'm going to let this go. And if she files the objection, bring that up to the judge.
Okay, I will.
That would have been
Thank you.
nice to know in the paperwork. Thank you. Have a
All
good
right.
morning.
You as well.
Well, there you have it. Screw you, Judge. I'm going to abide by your order. She'll be held in contempt and lose custody. I mean, I don't know on substance. I don't know what's going on at all. But I'm just saying, based on the behavior in today's hearing, she's headed for losing custody of her kids. Yay. All right, I have another one, but I don't know if I can find it. Let me try real quick. Let me try. I had one more clip, but I have to guess because I can't see them. No, that's not it. We already did that one. No.
All right, we can do Valdez versus Palmer.
I think this is what we needed. That was a
Besides,
wild
it sounds
one.
like they had enough going on together. Like, let me not throw another kink in this. All righty. If the state throws in that kink, I'm not going to argue. I can't. Okay. Welcome to both of you. Mr. Palmer, if you could unmute. Ms. Valdez, did you connect?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Welcome. All right. So we are here in the matter of Valdez versus Palmer, case number 15-01472DP. I've read your motion. The one question I had, sir, is you said she left on Monday or disappeared on Monday. What Monday?
2 weeks from this past Monday.
Okay.
This
Because
past Monday. 2 weeks from that day.
Yeah, okay. No offense. I just was trying to figure out a timeline here because you said she disappeared on a Monday, and I'm like, and forgive me, but I've had people that come in with stuff like that, and you find out it was 2 years ago. So timing is an issue. All right, Miss Valdez, what's going on?
So I have lived at my house for 12 years. Mr.
Okay.
Palmer has lived in and out over the past 12 years.
Okay.
He is never on a lease. My landlord was selling the house. I told
Okay.
Mr. Palmer this.
Okay. Did you tell him in writing or did you text him or?
I told him he didn't want to
Okay.
be on my mortgage. He didn't want to be on the utility bill.
That's fine. Then have you guys reestablished parenting time then?
I filed for child support 3 months ago, and that's when he got violent with me, and I had to file it for a restraining order. They called up his job for a review. I requested help because Mr. Palmer doesn't have medical, so he can't take the case
Well,
to the doctor.
I don't see anything in the file that says that you've applied.
Oh yeah, it was a review. They said that they do them automatically every 3 years. So I got in contact with a friend of the court. They went and established what he makes through his job and mine, how many overnights, and they said that it should go under review for November because they do them every 3 years. They said.
Oh, okay. Then they are automatically reviewing the child support.
Yeah.
So what are you doing with parenting time? He obviously lives in and out of the house, so the kid's safe with him, or you feel safe with having the child with him. What are you guys doing about parenting time? Because you can't withhold the child.
Your Honor, I don't mean to cut you off here real quick, but I do want to explain to you. I have a letter here from the school, from the principal himself, stating I have a letter here typed out as far as stating
my role and what I done there. This letter states that I have taken care of the kids and have picked them up for the past.
I'm not asking that right now. Okay.
I understand,
I
but
get
I'm telling
that.
you what can I at least get to
I'm
what
assuming that
happened
I'm assuming you've been very involved with the children because you guys have been living back and forth.
I have. That's the point.
That's why I'm
to make to you,
asking.
Your Honor.
I'm trying to set and find out what's happened. Obviously,
Okay,
she
I'm
had
going to
to
tell you
move
what
from the
happened right
house.
now, sir.
Yes.
I'm just going to explain. I'm trying to explain as best I can. I'm trying to take my time because I haven't seen my kids in over 2 weeks, and she's
That's
been
what I'm
holding
trying.
them.
That's what I'm trying to
Hear
reestablish.
me
If
out.
you'll let me.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just it's been over
I'm
2
setting
weeks.
the groundwork for. I'm setting the groundwork for making sure you get parenting time, and let's get you re-involved with your child now. I'm just trying to find
Your
a
Honor,
decent way of doing it. And then
I
I'm going to send
understand.
it to the front of the court for parenting time and child support so that both are
And
looked at.
thank you, Your Honor. And all I'm trying to say, Your Honor, is this: that Monday, 2 weeks from this last Monday, I had an altercation with Stephanie in the house, an argument because I was trying to help my son.
So there was a domestic violence incident.
Yeah, no, it was no domestic violence because I
Yes,
never
it was, sir.
touched her, but it was verbally. Excuse me.
Do
It
you
was
really want to keep
verbally.
talking?
I got no.
If you're digging a hole, stop. Put the shovel down. Okay. I figured something happened. I was trying to figure out how to move on without getting into dirty details that are going to be necessary for an actual parenting time order.
No,
I'm just
I'm
trying to
not
establish
trying to.
because we're dealing with a child who turns 10 in about a month, right?
Yes, sir.
The file is only got about 20 pages in it, and this is from 2015. So there's no information in this file at all whatsoever.
Your Honor.
Motion was the fact that she stopped parenting time and disappeared on a Monday.
Yes.
Okay. And you are asking to reestablish it. What I'm trying to do is figure out what to reestablish.
We never
figure
had
something.
We never had a custody. We never.
I got that.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is this. All I'm trying to say is the kids were taken out of school and they haven't been enrolled in a school. And I also have papers about that. He has not contacted me.
All right. Do you want to see the child or not? Because I was trying to get you to see the child. All right. Then let me get there and I'll deal with the school issue second. Okay. Let's deal with this with what's important first, which is why I was trying to get you parenting time.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh my God. Seriously, the judge was trying to help him, which is rare in these circumstances. The judge was trying to help him for real. Oh my God. This guy. Maybe he doesn't want parenting time. Maybe he wants to blow it up on purpose because he doesn't like his kids. Who knows?
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Valdez.
Yes, sir.
What is the intent on parenting time? He deserves it. He's been involved with this child. We need to get something going.
Yes, sir. It's Darren. If he can just get a place of his own and have a safe place for the kids, I don't mind him seeing them, but he never does that. He never.
Oh my God, she seems reasonable too. You've got like a 1 in a million situation where the judge and the ex is reasonable, and you're messing it up, dude. Just shut your hole.
Has a place.
Wait. Kids plural?
Yeah, we have two.
Your Honor, I lived with Stephanie for 12 years and we haven't been on and off. I have been in the house the whole entire time.
The landlord sold the house, Darren. You were not on the lease.
All right. I'm done. They are in school. What school are they in?
They are Saranac Elementary, sir.
Where were they 2 weeks ago?
They were at Kent Hills Elementary. That was where my old house was before it was sold.
So you had to move them to a different school district. Now you know the school district.
Close to my job, sir. Yes, close to my job.
Mr. Palmer, now you know the school district.
Thank
Unfortunately, here's the problem that I have. She has sole legal and sole physical custody. Parenting time is currently ordered as agreed by the parties. That is the current order. But you guys keep interrupting me, so I am not going to be of very much help to you this morning.
No,
so I
I'm
am
sorry.
sending this to the front of the court. Yeah, you've said that already.
No.
So I'm sending this to the front of the court for custody, parenting time, and child support issues. But I will warn you this. There is only one child in this case. The other child has not been legally established with Mr. Palmer as the father. Is there an affidavit signed for the second child?
No, sir.
All right. Somebody better file a case to have that second child and make you, Mr. Palmer, the legal father of that child.
I mean, you know, I don't want it to screw up the stream, but we all want to see a picture right now, don't we? I think that can be as definitive as a DNA test.
I would encourage you both to figure out how to arrange for parenting time for both of these children because they both deserve it.
Yes, sir.
But while I'm trying to help you, you seem to keep interfering with my help. Therefore, I am done trying to help. I am going to
Your
help
Honor,
by doing the only official channel that I've got.
Your Honor, I'm begging you. I have waited over 2
Yeah,
weeks. And I have not went a day without seeing my kids. And it's been over
and I
2
tried
weeks.
to
I'm
help
asking
you see them,
to-
and I tried to help you see them, but you kept interfering and you kept
and I'm
doing things.
sorry. I'm sorry. It's
Yeah,
because
you're very
I was
sorry.
trying. No,
But
no,
what
I
I'm going
really
to tell
am.
Miss Valdez is, do you have each other's contact information?
Yes, sir.
All right. Please contact him and let's arrange for some parenting time. Both of you keep notes about when you see the children.
Yes,
all
sir.
right. I'm sending this to the front of the court for a full custody parenting time and child support review, but it is only on Gloria. She is the only child in this case. Until you said kids plural, the court had no idea there were more than one. Somebody needs to open up a case and make him officially the legal father of the other child. Okay? Because we have no legal case with that kid. So Mr. Palmer, Mr. Valdez, one of the two of you file a paternity action. Okay?
I'll do it now.
Yeah, then you're at the courthouse, right, sir?
Yep, I'll do it now.
Please do so.
Yes, sir.
You guys are sure you did not sign an affidavit of paternity on the other child?
No, not for my son. I did not. Cause I just automatically assumed he was mine, so I did.
No, unfortunately, a child born out of wedlock has only one parent, and that's the mother, because we always know who that is. We do not know who the father is. So you either have to sign an affidavit of parentage, or she is the only parent. That's the way it remains
Get a test first, my man.
By law. That's why you need to file a paternity action. That's the reason I was asking the question appropriately, to make sure that you did not sign the affidavit, because there's two separate cases. If you've signed an affidavit, you have to file a custody case. If you have not been made the legal father, you need to file a paternity case. Please do so. It's on the 5th floor of the Legal Assistance Center at the courthouse. You may file that. Ms. Valdez, you'll be served those paperwork, and then as soon as possible, we'll combine these two cases so that we know that we can get both kids taken care of. I would encourage at this time, I was trying to figure out times and places. I'm not going to do that anymore because of the interactions here. I would encourage you, because Ms. Valdez, withholding the children does play into custody and parenting time if you withhold the children, so don't. And please, in writing or text, keep him informed of the school. Sir, you now know the school. Please contact the school so that they have your information. That way you may be involved, all right, with the school.
I have serious doubts about the other child, because I think she would have taken action on it sooner. Although she appears very nice and reasonable, so I'm not knocking her. I'm just saying that just procedurally, that seems odd to me that she wasn't trying to get him named the father.
At this point in time, she has sole legal custody of both children, so I can't do anything about the change of school. You need joint legal custody to have any input in where the school is. So yes, ma'am.
I just had one more question. So because of the last time when the argument started, the Kent County issued a restraining order against Darren for me, and they're also issuing the address protection program for me as well. So I'm enrolling.
So we have other problems then.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor.
Is there? Yeah.
Can I speak, please?
Yes.
The PP order was placed on me when she left the house Monday. She placed it sometime that week.
Oh.
And I got
There's a personal
Saturday,
protection order?
I haven't seen her. I haven't been in
Thank you,
contact
Ray.
with her.
Yeah,
Honor.
well, no.
I'm stating that.
The personal protection orders are issued by the event that occurred that split you. So if it's that bad, I'm going to leave parenting time between the two of you and how you can arrange it. I'm not ordering anything. I can't. There's a restraining order now. Gee, nobody mentioned that till the last 2 seconds. So I will send this to the front of the court for parenting time, custody, and child support for the one child. And I'll note on here there is a second child and a case is being filed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Hey.
All right, that's it. That's all the clips I have, which is not bad. I was running around all day today. Thank you. Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you, Morgan, for And Rocky for setting me up. I didn't even have to watch them, and they were all good, all top notch. I'll talk with Mike material, all of it. So as you can see, it's gotten dark here in Argentina. I might have to toddle out in the neighborhood and see if I can find something to eat and maybe get something to drink. This is what I used. This is what I used for my fez. I've never had this stuff before. I thought it was ice cream, but no, it's like chocolate covered raspberries or whatever. It's just wrong. It's wrong on every level. It's some crazy Argentinian voodoo. You want no part of it. I mean, it's good. But that's the way it is. All right, I tried to hold out to send you over to Biggin, but I didn't make it. I think Biggin's gonna be firing up here in a few minutes. Go over there and check him out. I'm sure that'll be good times. As usual on Friday night, behave yourselves. Get an Uber. I know I will. If I go far enough to require a car, because I'm not bailing you out. That's how it is.